This is Michael Wilson. We're looking at 7 practical lessons from Exodus 3 for living a transformed Christian life. Let's do it. In Exodus 3, we find a very pivotal chapter in the Bible where Moses encounters God in the burning bush. This encounter holds profound lessons for Christians today, offering insights into how we can live transformed lives empowered by God's presence. Here are 7 practical lessons we can glean from Exodus 3 in our Christian journey. First, be attentive to God's presence. Just as Moses noticed the burning bush, we must be attentive to God's presence in our lives. Often, God speaks to us in ordinary moments of life, but we need to have spiritual eyes to recognize his presence amidst the mundane. The second is remove your sandals. When God commanded Moses to remove his sandals, he was standing on holy ground. It symbolized reverence and humility. In our lives, we must approach God with humility, recognizing his holiness and sovereignty over our lives. Third, God calls the unlikely. Despite Moses' doubts and insecurities, and there were a bunch, God chose him to lead his people out of Egypt. This reminds us that God often calls the unlikely and the unqualified to accomplish his purposes. Our inadequacies are no barrier to God's plans for our lives. Fourth, trust God's provision. When Moses questioned how he could lead the Israelites, God assured him of his presence and promised to provide everything he needed. Everything. So, similarly, in our Christian journey, we must trust God's provision, knowing that he equips us for everything necessary to fulfill his calling. Fifth thing, obey God's instructions. God gave Moses very specific instruction, and his obedience was crucial for the liberation of the Israelites. Likewise, as Christians, obedience to God's word is essential for experiencing his blessings and fulfilling his purpose in our lives. Six, overcome fear with faith. Moses initially hesitated to obey God due to fear, but he eventually stepped out in faith. We too may encounter fear and uncertainty, but we must trust in God's faithfulness and step out in faith, knowing that he is with us every step of the way. And the seventh thing, experience God's presence. The pinnacle of Moses' encounter was experiencing God's presence. As Christians, we are called to cultivate a deep relationship with God, seeking his presence in our lives through prayer, worship, studying his word. In it, his presence, we will find strength, comfort, and guidance for our journey. So Exodus 3 offers invaluable insight for living a transformed Christian life. And that is some mighty good news, brothers and sisters.